Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. You are watching Kong Builders, a live show where we talk about cloud connectivity, Kong, and cloud. My name is Viktor Gamov. I am your host today, and we have a today great show. So welcome everyone. Welcome if you're first time here. If you're first time here, we have this tradition. You write down in the comments where you're coming from. I'm coming to you live from my home studio in my basement in New Jersey. It's really cold outside right now, so I do have a cup of coffee with me today to be warm inside and outside. Write down in the comments if you're watching us we're streaming everywhere. So we are everywhere. You can run, but you cannot hide. We are in YouTube, we in LinkedIn, and Twitter. Actually, on YouTube, we are in two places. Thanks to modern technology that allows us to do this. Okay, so I see Sachin from India. Andrew, first timer, welcome everyone. So for those of you who join us for the first time, this is the place where I'm trying to hack things around, or I'm inviting some of the colleagues in future. There will be some of the colleagues from Kong who, hacking around, doing the things. So it's not scripted, somehow prepared. So that's why it's my legal disclaimer saying that things will not go well. And also you can bring all your questions. I like to make the show inspired by some of your comments, some of the things that people in the community are doing with Kong or struggling with something, so I can do and research them. So one of the things that I personally was struggling is I never get a chance to do this like properly on some other videos. It's to use Helm as it's like all the possible features that are available in the Kong installation. And it's a second part of this series, so you can go in our. I do have a prepared the place. So like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you watch all the recordings are available on YouTube. There is a playlist called Kong Builders. You can find all episodes there. So last week I start by breaking down the installation of Kong using Helm. We quickly came into place where we got the Kong installed. We wanted to use Kong Manager, and Kong Manager also available in Enterprise, but available for free. So I showed you how we can customize this installation, Kong installation, to use the gateway image, which includes the Kong Manager. And one of the things where we stopped is to enable vitals. And I actually faced many kind of obstacles and like preparing for this episode, because apparently there's some of the things that documentation don't tell you, and I am looking forward to fix this. All right, so let's see what do we have here. So we have Andrew Barton coming at us from LinkedIn. LinkedIn apparently is a great place, it's a great social network. Apparently it's a social network that we, as a professionals, we all want it. Now they have a streaming, the people nice there. Every time when you share something in LinkedIn, people are super supportive. It's not like other places. Though I love Twitter, still love Twitter. Andrew, welcome to Kong Builder. There's some Russian-speaking audience coming into play. Anton, thank you so much for being with us today. And Quarter Grammar was been looking forward to it. It's great to hear. So let me break down some of the things what we did in the past. For this, I will share my screen. Now, this is the place where we can find all the code that I shared from the previous episodes. It's a demoscene Kong GitHub/demoscene, and there is a folder Kong Builders. All these episodes have their own folder, and this is the folder from the last time. I showed you that we start with the things and how we can install this and what kind of things we can do here. Now, today we continue to do this. So the first time we stopped with yeah, first of all, we have a Back to Future service, my favorite application that shows that everything works. And let's see if it's actually deployed. With this, I'll also open some of the values that we have. So we have enable admin client. And let's take a look. What do we have here? We're going into Quonk namespace, Quonk, and we see services. So what we have so far, we have two things. We do have an admin API available for external consumption. We have a Quonk manager available for external consumption as well. And also we have Quonk itself exposed. So those are the Quonk proxy connected to this IP address. I created a DNS record so I can go and do something like this. So it will have a response to Quonk. So I also have configured an ingress. So we're going to use this later. I also configured ingress for my namespace. I will just go namespace default. So it's still a recap. So it's still doing a recap from the past episode. Go into namespace. We're going into default, and there would be ingress here. Back to Future ingress. So if we will take a look on this one, it's just ingress that points to my service. So if I go in my Insomnia and go hit the proxy, and after that I provide, I don't need this, I provide a header saying host. So my response will land to my service. That's what we want to achieve. So another thing, before we jump into thing, I want to share some of my personal productivity tip for Kubernetes. Huge fan of not using IP addresses. Huge fan of DNS names. So with this, if I open my ingress, I use this very interesting annotation called external DNS host name. So this thing is allows to special controller that listens for these ingresses with these particular annotations provision a DNS record in my DNS provider, and also assign this to host name that I'm going to be using in my application. So I would say something called external DNS. It is also Kubernetes special interest group project where you can find this. And let me show, they have a different providers supported, like many different providers. Personally, I use Gandhi providers because of their prices, nothing there special. This is the provider that I use for all my DNS needs. So when I will do things like something dig short. So in this case, it will be pointing to my Quonk. And Quonk, when I hit this URL, Quonk will tell me that I'm actually hitting a right service. So if I go ahead and do something like, I got the response from my service. So now in this case, I don't need to use the header with the host, so I can use this directly. So this is approach that I like to use in this episode. To solve one of the issues that I personally don't like. And I don't like to use IP addresses. So one of the things that we talked last time when we enabled the admin API and manager. So let's figure out if it still works. So let's see if our we can do admin API, and let's do port 8082/services 8081. And it's not HTTPS. Yeah, so the admin API still works, but it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice, and we will fix the same thing with the manager. Quonk manager is available on here. Plus, it creates additional load balancer for additional load balancer resource, and maybe some of the cloud provider will charge you for like additional load balancer provisioned. Let's see if we have a conf manager. Yeah, conf manager is up and running. So if I go in and just do this in the browser, we will have conf manager this up and running. Well, it's running, but not really up. So let's see if there's some caching issue in disable cache. All right, so let's figure out after. Like maybe there's some URLs misconfigured. Now, briefly check what you folks are saying. Okay, so we're going into very interesting question, Code Grammar. Better use Insomnia over Postman? Yes. In the con builders, we use Insomnia. It's amazing. Yeah, we were talking about securing. Last time we were talking about the securing admin API session. We're going to do this today. Not specifically one of the things that I will disable more security, but I think I need to spend like more time on the security topic in general, because there's a lot of things that, we need to do. Probably I will postpone it for the next time. Today I want to focus on making the manager, conch manager, and the observability tools visible, so you will be able to monitor what conch does. All right. For LinkedIn user who join us for the first time, yes, you can go to conch YouTube channel. You can go to this. It's easy to remember, YouTube. And after that, you go /conch eng. And you can find all the videos. You can find all the recordings. There's a bunch of tutorials. I didn't show this to you. Okay, that happens when I don't share screen. So if you go to conch eng YouTube channel, and you will be able to find all the things what I'm talking about. That's the right place to find all the recordings. For those of you who are watching us in LinkedIn, there's some conference talks, the recordings from the Conch Summit. Again, everything is there. So are back. Maybe, but not today. There is a documentation section that I want to explore. I want to make things work before security and make sure that I will not mess up. I will not mess up with security. Now, so what I wanted to do, where's my, I created another folder for today, and there's another values. So one of the things that we have here already for admin, it's enabled and the port is available. I will go ahead and disable TLS for admin API. So because when I will provision ingress by default will be using TLS, and I don't have a certificates configured on hand. We will talk about this next time. So next thing, with this Helm chart that I was showing, this the conch Helm chart, I can configure ingress for my components. So in this particular case, I go and let me show you diff. That's going to be diff that I'm going to be applying right now. Right-click, compare files. So I'm going to disable TLS because by default it will pick up some stuff around a TLS. By default, I don't want to do this right now. Again, I want to drive this from this only from this Helm chart. Next thing, that I want to enable ingress, and I want to tell that the conch will be serving this admin API through ingress. So how cool is that? So it's a real real dog fooding, I would say. Let me close this one so everyone will see what is going on the screen. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Okay. All right. Next thing is where's ingress? Yes. So I'm making my conch proxy to serve my conch admin API and create the ingress object. Now, I also want to have the conch admin as my DNS name. So that's why I also providing some extra annotation. So this Helm chart supports customization for this ingress. So in this case, I am providing a conch admin address. So my external DNS will pick up this host name and will create and bind this IP address with this ingress. We're going to use the same stuff. And so for now, I'm not going to use this. We're going to return to this one in a second. And in this one, I also enabled false. We're going to return here as well. Disable this stuff for now. I will disable this stuff. So for now, I just want to create two ingresses, one for admin API, one for conch manager. So once I will create this, I will be able to use stuff like this. And these things are important from perspective of course. So the UI will be trying to talking to admin API in the server. So in this case, there would be no kind of like issues with course here. So I will start applying this. And I will answer some of the questions that people might have in the chat. So and what we're going to do this, we're going to do in ingress and see if the ingresses will be created. So while it will working, I will look in some of the chat messages. All right, so. Okay, thank you so much for being a long-time follower, long-time listener, first-time caller. Thank you so much for being that. All right, so Coder Grammar offering some of the collaboration. So go ahead and check these recordings as well. All the recordings are available. And Sachin also using the similar approach, using conch ingress through as a provider. So let's see if this conch admin API was successfully created. One of the things how to check this would be to use logs. I'm going here, external DNS logs, and see. So in external DNS logs, what I see here, it will use a record admin and will assign this to this IP address. So if I will go and do something like, and I'll just do admin.conch proxy me. It's found a correct IP address. So if I will go and try to hit this one, it also works. You see, it also works, and it is pretty cool. But also, if I go to do admin API, I also can do stuff like admin.conch proxy me, and I go and call the services. That works. That's awesome. That's stuff that we're expecting to work. And now I want to make sure that my ingress will work. Manager enabled manager. So let's see if my manager also works. If I'll just do dig. Something is not right. So let's take a look. Let's take a look in the logs. We're going into conch and going to proxy, and proxy looks fine. Let's see if there's any warnings in ingress controller. So I will just do manager, starting manager. No, I don't see if ingress was created. So let's take a look. Go into conch namespace. We'll see a list of ingresses. and only one ingress was created, which is weird. So let's take a look why it is happening. So let's close it. We're going into this file, and where's my 7? We're going to Conk Manager, and let's make sure that we're doing everything right. So it is HTTP available, TLS available, ingress. Okay, it's enabled, true. We're providing host name. I believe I messed up something with the with indentation. I'm pretty sure. Ingress enabled, ingress, yep, ingress, host, and annotations on the same level. Ingress, yeah, so looks good. It does look good. Manager conk.proxy.me. Why this ingress was not created? That's a very interesting question. So let's take a look at one more time. Conk admin, maybe it created in a different namespace. No, it would create this here. So another way how to see what is going on is to run this Helm template. So Helm template allow me to do so when I run this upgrade. So when I run this upgrade command, so let me now it speeds up the output of this Helm chart. So whatever objects this Helm charts create. So let's copy it somewhere. Maybe copy, and we will open this in file, new Scratch file. We'll just go new Scratch file. It's going to be YAML, obviously. And let's see what do we have here. So we're interested in ingress. So we are looking for, this is the admin ingress. So this is the ingress that was generated by Helm. But we are interested in another ingress for a manager. So ingress for a manager was not created, which explains problem. It doesn't explain why it was not created. So let's take a look. Let's take a look on my thing. So inside the manager, we have ingress object enable true. So let's do admin ingress enable true, ingress class name, host name manager, annotations, and the correct path. I believe maybe something enabled, let's see, false. Let's do this. Yes, I'm trying to get to the point where we will start seeing the manager, and after that we'll start looking at the vitals. So now let's do TLS disabled inside the manager. Always we can go to default values and see what is going on there. Where's the manager? Okay, I know what's the problem. Okay, so even though I'm pretty sure the manager is not even up. So if I go to and show you services, oops, get services from namespace. Yeah, so what happens is, so even though we are using this manager available for free, without any license, it is still part of enterprise version. That's what we were doing the last time. So since I disable it, so let's do disable enabled false, and I enable enterprise feature, enable true. So in this case, if I will go and do template, just to confirm my my theory. So, and I will look for ingress. So we do have an ingress for admin yeah. So the Helm chart is controlling what services will be created. So I disable enterprise and it enabled this. So I'll run upgrade. We will look that new ingress will appear here. This ingress will be created. And if I will just do, let's see, I will go into namespace default and with external DNS, and we will be monitoring when this record will be available. And if I will go do dig, okay, it's not there yet. It takes some time to external DNS to pick up this. So this ingress was created. So my manager should be, conk manager should be up and running now. So what happens is, as you can see here, we created new record. So if I go dig, as you can see, the Gandhi is pretty fast, more or less fast, the DNS. So I will be able to do this right now. So if I go to manager conk me, yes, so we up and running. We see there is a default. This is my service. This is what we're hitting. Okay, so we are back. We are back from the point where we were last time. But this time it's better. Moreover, that's a beauty to do this live. You can also go right now to this the conk manager URL, or this URL specifically, and can click around. That's the beauty of joining me live. So you can go and click around. And it would be even more cooler when we enable these vitals. Now, it says vitals is disabled. Here's the thing. So conk manager for free version allows you to do many things. For example, configuring services, like I can go and say, where's my route? That's my conk, that's my admin, this is my ingress, back to future. So for example, I can go ahead here and enable some plugins, right? So I can do, say, caching. So I will say enable. I will say strategy and memory for now. And I will click create. Cannot create when not using database. This is the where this is the where we're going into today. So let's see what's other plugins that not allow me to use database. Rate limiter, right? So rate limiter, classic. We enable this, we enable this, not the plugins. We go into route, we go into back to future route, and where is this? So routes, back to future route, and add plugin. So I can go ahead, add plugin here, say rate. And when I create, say, limit by IP, and config second, like 10 requests per second. Plugins, cannot create plugins entries when not using database. I was under impression that we can do this, but like, okay, so let's fix this. I wanted to show you how to use database. So with Helm chart that Kong provides, we can enable database fairly easy. So there is only the section that we need to enable. So we will go ahead and say enable true. And this is where we're going into a route of creating database. So we're going to be using the Bitnami the Helm chart for Postgres, and it's built in Kong Helm chart. So when I enable this, I just can do upgrade. Oh, okay, and another thing. So I will enable vitals, so we will see if it works. Plus, one of the things that I want to enable here is a so I'm going to be using Kong Ingress, Postgres database. Host will be here since they're running this locally, and it will install the Kong, this database in the same namespace with Kong, so I can simply use the Kong Postgres. So in this case, it's a release name, and the Postgres is the name of the chart. And that should work. That should be it for my application. So let's take a look. What do we have here? So if I go to Kong namespace, now I'm starting getting something interesting. So let's see what it says. Now we have a migration job. So this migration job will be creating a database or make sure database structure is up to date. So we're waiting for Postgres, and it doesn't seem to work. Enable true. Postgres should appear here anytime now. Anytime now. Okay. Okay. Okay, so that's a good question for people if they use New Relic. I don't know if there's a plugin that available to do this. Okay. Okay. So yeah, and if the people knows use any plugins, let our LinkedIn user know. Okay, so it looks like it's stuck somewhere because the Postgres is not provisioned. So what we do? I will cancel this. It should roll back all these migrations. So what I will do first, I think it is a problem. It expects this to be up and running, and it's some weird issue with the ordering in Helm charts. So I will disable Postgres for now in my Kong installation, but I will provision Postgres with the Helm chart. So in this case, there would be no race conditioning between those things. So let's see if my assumption will work. So I'll just do delete. Yeah, it's actually my assumption was correct. So now my Postgres is starting. Let's see. It needs to provision all this, the persistent volume claims and all this kind of stuff. Container creating. Okay, so starting container, creating database, Kong, configuring, blah, 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 all good. So Postgres is up and running. Now the installation successfully completed. So let's see if I need to bounce this, or it will pick up automatically. No, I think I need to bounce this because it's from the previous release, so it's kind of like dangling here. Do we want to delete port? Yes. Okay, I will delete this. And now, Okay, so let's see why it is not picking up. Okay, error. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. There's interesting interesting error. We need to bootstrap first. How we can do that? So if I go into my Helm chart, maybe I'm doing wrong. I never asked the engineers who built this, so that's why kind of like my impersonation of the person who will be using this. So with this, I like to go and see default values, migration. So it actually runs some of the migrations, but there's no bootstrapping phase. And the bootstrapping phase, I couldn't figure out how to do this with this particular chart. So what I did, I know that we do have the Quant for Kubernetes, this is Enterprise, the deployment guide. And it says that it's already uses database somehow. So it uses this file, one that the Helm template spits out. And what I found, if I go and open this, I found there's a job called migration. And this job actually does exactly what we need. It does exactly what we need. And it is runs, where is it? Kong migration bootstrap. So let's run this job first. So this job will populate Kong with populate Postgres with all this correct tables. So I do have this this job here. Ignore. Actually, not what I wanted. I would just go and show history. It looks like it's just pick up this from my previous run. So local history, show history, and this is something that I want to do. That's okay. Revert. Okay, cool. Now, so in this case, it's going to be one off job that will run a container that includes Kong and connects to this database and run the migrations. And after that, we'll confirm that it is up and running. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm going ahead doing apply this to, okay, let's see. Maybe there's some migration already, Kong migration already created in this cluster. So that's why we're getting this weird. Okay, so Kong migrations, I'm gonna do kill it. And after that, I also run this one more time. Okay, batch job is created, so let's see what it will do. So there's two containers. One container will wait until the Postgres will be up and running. So, and the problem is that I believe it uses incorrect, no, Kong Postgres, correct? And in this case, it also needs to use Kong Postgres. So, where's my host? Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so why is doing this? Let me this guy is not doing nice. It's just synchronizing with the services in Kubernetes. So let me, how I can stop this from this doing this? Let me fix that if I will be able to do this. If I just do something like this. Oops. Okay. So I should be able to update this job. So this job should go in this waiting for database. No, it's incorrect. Let's do this one. Delete this. Push it to a cluster. Push. Yes, by like all these plugins trying to do too much stuff. Okay. So we're gonna do this manually. I don't like that. I don't like that. So in this case, kube control apply bootstrap Postgres job. All right. So it's created. Now getting back to here. So let's see migrations. Waiting for Postgres. Connected. Now that's what I want to see. So this command created all the tables. Now like everything is good. Now my release, all my migrations for upgrade should be fine. Now, so now, why this keep happening? I will fix that. I will fix this later. Now, in my here, so I replacing this with the Postgres. Now, when I upgrade my Quang, all right, so let's see. So off the shelf, it creates only one pod Postgres with 8 GB space. How to tweak chart to manage multi-pod Postgres as we do bigger size of Postgres instance? That's a very good question. I think since we're using this the Helm chart from Bitnami Postgres chart, that's where you should go. That's where you should go and see how they would recommend to do this. There's multiple ways how to do this. Probably, you know, you want to keep your Postgres installation separately from the chart that Quang provides. The only reason why it provides is just to give a better user experience, so you can play around with the things. I think another option would be even relying on some managed database that's available in your cloud provider or your system. So that's what I would do probably sometime as well. One of the things that I also will show you sometime in some future episodes is how to use with Connect. Connect actually will have a database and the control plane separated from your installation, so you don't need to do this yourself. So there's multiple choices. However, today we're doing this. Let's see. Let's get back to. Let's see if our installation is successfully rolled. We do have upgrade migrations post. No pending migrations. So I assume we are good. Let's see if the pod is up and running. Let's see. All good with Quang. Here I don't see any problems here. So let's take a look on UI. So I'm going back to Quang Manager. Click refresh. Now runs in the free mode. I enabled the database. I should be able to enable plugins. And I go into my route. I'm going to my where's my back to future? I'm going here, routes, view, add plugin. Let's see, caching, proxy caching. I enable this. I want to use strategy in memory and cache TTL seconds, 60 seconds. Should be not super aggressive. And click create. So plugin was configured successful. So now let's see if I will be able to hit my back to future. And now, as you can see here, everything works, right? So we have the cache headers. We know that. So first one is it was miss because there was no entry in the cache. Now it's a hit because let's see, we're hitting and getting the responses, and responses 33 milliseconds. It's fine. It's still pretty fast. And the latency is like 1 millisecond because it actually doesn't go to service. It actually goes and hits the calling directly. So the next thing is that I really want to see, see this vitals disabled, this type of message. So what this stuff doesn't tell you is that you need to enable enterprise feature. So everything at this point that I showed you, all things you can do for free. That's something that you can see. There's like you're running this in the free mode. You can configure plugins. You can configure services. You can see all this stuff that is going on here. So there's my my Back to Future the service, but there's no there are no capabilities like the vitals. For the next time, remind me someone. For the next time, I will show you. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you, so stick around for a second. Let's enable the enterprise feature. So to do this, need to do a couple steps. So first of all, again, from the same document that I have here, I need to create a license. So how to get the license? You can email to support@conhu.com and they will send you a trial license. It's for free. You can play around this. It's not a big deal. So I already did that. So I just need to create a secret. So I will create a secret from the file that includes my license. I'm not gonna show you this license today. Okay. Oh yeah. So let's go into default and see secrets. Default token, Dune Kong me, it's a TLS certificate. No, I will go into Kong namespace and go into Kong. And with this, I just do a secret. Kong enterprise license. I'm gonna kill this just to make sure that I'm using right license. Okay, so going to create this one. Now, I created this one. I go into my I'm going into my enterprise section here, and I just need to specify secret. This is how we're gonna do this. So I'm going in again, just doing upgrade. And now we will be able to, if I'm going back here, for now it still routes traffic to previous installation. I don't believe it's successfully rolled yet. So let's see. It's going into crash loop back off, meaning that it's still it's getting in. All right, people, let's make some noise in the comments. Are you still with me? I didn't follow how many people were watching, but we had a pretty good stream so far. So. Okay, so we see that it's rolling, and now we are golden. So now we're running enterprise version with Helm charts, with Postgres. Now let's make some noise. Let's make some noise, and the easier things to do is to tell, hey. So first of all, let's disable caching, and I will show you routes. We're going into view. Wait, what? Caching was supposed to be there. Apparently, the plugin configuration also move away. I don't know. Let's see. We'll repeat on interval. Every second, I'll start sending this message. So we're getting these messages every time new message, and we start seeing the messages from the vitals. We start collecting these responses. So we will add the plugin. We'll just do caching, proxy caching, strategy memory. Once again, something like blip, some configuration blip. Create. Okay, now we should start getting the same response. We start getting caching headers. And the reason why I wanted to show you is that when you go into dashboard and start seeing these services, and for the service with vitals, where is it? Vitals. The latency dropped from. Where's my service? Okay, so my service. Where's the nice dashboard? Yeah, this is the nice dashboard. For service, quote service, we should be able. I don't see. I don't. That's the status codes, but what's the responses? Okay, so we're going in. Yeah, that's the latency, and we wanted to see upstream latency because now we barely communicate with upstream. Where is it? Host name and ID. Yeah, we barely communicate with this conc. It's where's my service? Where is my service? Are we hitting this? It's still on? Yeah, it's still on. It still works. It's still getting. Let's do workspace. See number of requests. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. So that's the number of requests that happens. Like every second, we will have these requests. Now, before we part today, I wanted to show you something cool that you probably want to use in your real life. Now, it's good that you can use Insomnia to do your kind of denial of service. But what if we're going to use a real tool? So let me get back to in here. I will go to plugin, and I will disable this plugin for now. So I will disable this plugin for now. So we get back to dashboard. We will see the numbers will grow. So I like to use a very cool tool called Locust that allowed me to spam this service with real messages. So the way how it works, it runs inside. It has the controller like a deployment for Kubernetes, and it will use this to submit the requests. And not a huge fan of Python, but hey, they use Python for this tool, and I'm gonna use this today as well. So two things. When I hit my service, when I hit my back to future service, I want to hit the root, and in this case, I will get the response from our URL. And if I will hit this like a 404, I will get the 404 error. And after that, it's kind of some random time will generate like how often it will hit one particular thing, how often it will hit errors, and how often it will hit this guy. In order to do this, I will create a config map. I think it's already created because I tested this a little bit, but let's see. We go in here. It already exists, so I didn't do anything in this application. I will create a new Helm release. I will install this Locust thingy. And after that, once it's up and running, I will be able to use this command to, I would, if I will have more time, I will just simply use this provided ingress. But in this case, let's keep it less classy. So it's still enable. Let's see if it's still coming up. Locust master is running. Let's see. Yes, it's up and running. Is it red? Ready, set, go. Accepting connections. It should be up and running. Let's see, worker is up and running. So one worker, one master. Why it is not? Why? Okay, yeah, it works. Okay. All right. Okay. If I go to localhost 8080, it will give us nice UI. We have this nice UI. So number of users. So I cannot dream to have 1,000 users in my stream. But let's imagine there are thousands of users in this stream. 1, 2, 3. And they appear with, spawn rates, I don't know, 75. Next thing is that I'm going to be using since we have an ingress configured to particular DNS name, so we can use this back to future thing. And when I start swarming, okay, we will see the charts here. So now we will see the charts, how we're hitting our service. And we will be able to see vitals here as well. And the number of requests will grow. And the error rate, just simply because in our test we actually hitting a 404, which doesn't exist. So if I show you failures, see, that's when I hitting this services give me 404, which is expected. This is what we wanted. And now response time average, what, like around what, 50 milliseconds. And when I will do, let's close it. And when I will do my route, this guy, see, now the vitals are working, all good. So if I go to caching plugin, edit plugin, enable this plugin, and click update. So response rate just like down to like twice. And with my vitals, let's see, it just like went down. Just enabling plugin allows you kind of like a pushback from from denial of service. I don't know. Write down in the comments if you've seen this. What was that? Super Bowl commercial from some of the flying QR code. Anyway, so let's see. So we went down because the response is cached and the response time is like super fast, obviously. So just like it's no time. We could apply like, let's see. Let's do another experiment here. I will enable for this route, for this back to future route, I will enable new plugin. We will call it rate limiting. We will introduce different type of errors. So limit by for service IP. We will use say 20 requests per second. This is 30 requests per second, and we will create this. So we created this. Now we disable proxy. Let me go ahead and edit. I disable this, and I click update. So what we will see now is that starting getting response rate, and we will see different type of errors now. See, now we're hitting different type of errors, and we will be able to see this in the Conk Manager as well, because if I go to the status codes, now I'm starting getting like only 404, plus I will getting not only 404. When I have a rate limiting error, it would be 400. And you see this request rate also grew. And yeah, so I introduced a different type of failures here. So that's my failures, that's my responses, still working, up and running. We're still hitting this. Looks cool in my opinion. It looks cool. Write down in the comments if you think it looks cool. So for this, I would like to talk about some other tools that are available, maybe not 100% enterprise, but still make you to use some of the, let me disable this because I don't like when the red thing, let's leave it here. I will continue to do this. So there's a ways how you can also collect those metrics without using the Conk Manager tools or some of the other enterprise tools. I will talk about this next time. So next time, let's finish with the observability next time. So I will show you how you can use plugins for Conk Gateway that allows you to integrate with Grafana and Prometheus. And you'll see the Prometheus dashboards. We'll continue to use this. We'll compare some of those things. But I'm here to get your responses. So do not forget, subscribe this, because next time I will show you how many people watching those streams and how many people watching those videos and not subscribing yet. Let me show you for the last time. So it's still working. You see, it's still working. Plugin does the thing, and if I will just do go here, let's increase number of just do 45. So it will continue to do the thing. Very nice, very nice. We're getting somewhere. All right. So again, let me remove this. We are, you need to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Follow me here. It's Twitter, my Twitter. I will collecting some of the information from you, what you would like to learn, what you want to see. With this, as you know, my name is Viktor Gamov, and as always, have a nice day.